devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand. Call
All right. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is 12 Gauge. Welcome to my channel, 12 Gauge Investigate. I hope that y'all are having a wonderful Friday. Hope that this week wasn't too harsh on you guys. Welcome to the chat members, Rondi, Jim O'Neill. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. You know, I might have some special guests rising up in here in a little bit. You know how it goes. But until they arrive, I'm able to carry this shit. Excuse my lingo. But truth be born, right? Anyways, I'd like to welcome the people who watch this on replay and really have never been to my channel and they don't know what my channel is about. Well, my channel is mostly a lot of things. It is a little bit true crime and a little bit motivational, a little bit controversial. I talk about things in this channel that, there's some things that, many people don't like to talk about. And I just have to dive in and discuss them. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much. So I understand true crime is not a very pleasurable experience. I mean, we've seen the shows, we've seen the documentaries, we've seen the things that go on in people's lives, the missing people, all those things. And it's quite disturbing, to say the least. If you didn't check out my upload from earlier, I was doing some commentary on Dr. Gary Bricato's The New Evil book. And if you haven't purchased it, you might go get you a copy. It's on Amazon. You can buy it off the Kindle You can buy a hardback, I think, a softback, but it's an interesting read. It kind of gives you the different variations of how people are in their mentality and the differences in and how people kill people. I mean, it's basically a novel to gain understanding of what really goes on in people's minds. Many times we just think that there's spree killers, that there's people that actually kill for a purpose. There has to be a motive. There has to be some kind of something that ties them to this crime. And that's not always the case. It's not always the case. Sometimes, like I was talking about this killer earlier, um, he was suspected of having incestual relationship with his daughter, and he just went and couldn't handle his reputation being tarnished in the community or even going through any of that. And he started at his own home and he murdered his immediate family. And then he went on down the list. Basically murdered or injured a lot of people that had once wronged him or he had some kind of attachment to that didn't fulfill the object of his affection, something like that. So that in itself tells you that there's different variations of reasons why people kill. It also mentions Susan Smith. I don't know if you guys remember that case, but she was the one that drowned her two little boys in the lake while they were strapped in their car seats. And you ask, well, what was that over? What makes somebody do that? Well, she had such abandonment issues that when she felt that she was being abandoned, she would hurt herself. But before that, she would try to eliminate the problem. And if she wasn't able to, then she turned on herself and tried to hurt herself by suicidal tendencies. And these individuals, they're not like you and I, as the book was saying. There's a lot of psychopathy that goes along with people, but not everybody who is psychotic or has a psychopathy becomes a serial killer. They don't become murderers. They just struggle in their lives to overcome the inadequacy in their brain. So if you haven't checked out any of that reading, this last one I wasn't reading because I really enjoyed the individual reading the book for me while I was able to pay attention and go along to be able to commentate on the book. Because whether you realize it or not, it's not that easy to be able to be reading up here, comprehend what you're reading the chat, making sure everything's running right, and still give a good synopsis of what you're going over. So here we are, Friday night, true crime. We've had a lot of interesting things go on this week with the true crime community. One of the most memorable ones, I guess, is that there was a judge ruling on the sentence stage of Richard Allen. And I heard he got 130 years. And you ask yourself, well, how can somebody get that much time? I guess sometimes they feel that if they don't give you the long sentences, you have a tendency to get out someday. Sometimes people do get out that have killed people. I don't know if people realize that or if they actually have the understanding that there are some people that actually get out. They can't, they keep them in there as long as possible, but for a particular reason or particular time, they will get out. Um, so how's everybody doing out there in YouTube world? Put a 1 in the chat if you had a reasonably good week. Put a 2 if we had some struggles going on, but you overcame. Put a 3 if you're still struggling. And put a 4 if you've kind of over it. Over it. Because sometimes I talk about problems and solutions and other types of modalities that I do on air. And when I mention problem solving, individuals sometimes think, well, he's talking about instantaneous change. He's talking about I'm having a problem, so therefore I can change it by just doing this or by doing that, and everything will be all right. Sometimes it happens that way, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the problem stays with you for a little while. Sometimes you have to work through that problem, And if you're still struggling with something, hang on. Hang on. Don't let go. Don't allow yourself to give up on you. Don't allow yourself to feel that you're in competition with any time frame that other people have regarding whatever it is that you're dealing with. Because this is no competition. This is no time for you to feel like I got to get this right. I gotta hurry up and heal. I gotta hurry up and deal with something, because it's not that time. It's not that time. Take your time. Be kind to yourself. Because how long did it take you to get to that point? Many of us, we don't really land in that spot, so to speak, overnight. Granted, there's some things that happen in our lives that is unseen, unforeseen, but we don't really land in that position just by saying, okay, I'm having a bad day, and there we go. You know what I mean? What y'all think about the new intro song? I think that kind of goes along. It's another 12 gauge kind of song. I mean, it's all call 911. It's like, wow, this dude is sounding dark. He's sounding dark. But don't give up. Don't give up. The miracle will happen. It will happen. And sometimes the miracle's happening right before our eyes, and we really don't even realize that that's what's going on. You ever feel like, man, I got to get this person or this job or this vehicle or this new technology or this new situation, or I'm not going to be happy? If I get this kind of money, I need this kind of money, I need this, or life isn't going to be worth living. Have you ever asked yourself what it is that makes you feel that with that one thing, you would be complete? Because with money comes a lot of responsibility. So if all of a sudden your bills were paid off, all of a sudden you had an influx of humongous amounts of money, many people say, well, I'd be rich, I'd be okay. But if you've never leveled up to that level of responsibility, and you've never been able to maintain small amounts of money, you would not really know how to manage that huge amount of money. Like, I'd love to think that if I won the lottery tomorrow, man, life would be good all over the place. But I've never had, let me pick out a number, $473 million. I've never had that amount of money. So
Hey, if you win the lottery tomorrow, can I borrow $20?
What, Jeff?
If you win the lottery tomorrow, can I borrow $20?
Sure, bro. I got you.
All right.
Everybody put your hand together for Mr. Jeff H. He's one of the guests tonight. The other one, hopefully she arrives. Jeff, you're a little low on your mic.
Am I? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just
Yeah,
a
I
little
was check. Testing 1 2. Is that better?
Yeah,
Oh, you know
that's
what?
a
Let me do
little
it. Let me do it this way because I don't want to distort the box here, but I can turn it up in StreamYard about how about 130 there. Check. Testing 1 2. Is that better?
That's better. That's
Not
better.
too loud, is it?
No, not too bad. Are we clear to you guys? I mean, is there any malfunction in our microphones or anything? I think we're sounding pretty clear myself. I don't know.
What is your major malfunction, soldier? What was
Right.
that?
Full Metal Jacket?
Full Metal. Yeah.
Yeah. How's your day been going, Jeff?
Good. Can't complain. I was actually messing around with some Linda Lane footage. Might be putting out I don't know at some point when, but I've been doing the side by side of the body cams where you can hear, the camera that you see on your left, you hear in your left ear, the one on the right, you hear in your right ear. I thought I'd do the same thing with the two Linda Lane cameras, and I just started really. I mean, it's kind of interesting though, because that black SUV, as a lot of people call it, 423. It's kind of cool to hear. You can hear it in both cameras. Obviously, more on the 1330 because it's closer.
Right.
But there's
I
always been
remember the early days when we used to stay up late into the night watching Linda Lane cameras and all kinds of craziness.
just listening for
See that?
something.
You hear it. You hear it.
Is that where you see it, right? Is that where that initially came from? Probably is like.
I believe so. I believe so. It's like you see that, right? You see that, right? No, I don't see it. I don't hear it either. What's wrong with you? What are you hearing? Yeah, we had a lot of fun off the camera. I mean, Jeff and I met. How long ago, Jeff? About 7, 8 months.
I guess so. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm the worst when it comes to a calendar and how long things have been going on or anything.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I live kind of day by day and maybe
So
a little too
how's
much.
it up there? You guys ready for Christmas? The grandkids, you got the gifts going on, stuff like that.
Yeah. Probably if my wife comes down, she sees me on here, she's like, this house needs to be clean by Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got a bunch of family coming over, which will be nice. My mom's coming over, so it's been a while since she's been out here. We moved, we used to be right in the same area. Now we're about an hour, out, and it's only an hour, but man, sometimes it can I still go by there, but still not as often as I should. Bad son.
Well, my mom lives probably 7 or 8 minutes away, and I get out there probably once or twice a week if I'm lucky,
Yeah.
But I call her as often as I can, so
Yeah, we text and we also, Facebook Messenger a lot. She's sending me all funny cat videos and things like that, and try and make each other laugh with whatever we can find on there.
Yeah. Isn't that a great thing? You might be having a tough day, and all of a sudden here comes a good funny video or a funny meme or something, and it just brightens your day.
Yeah. I just saw a good one with it's a bunch of little clips of cats like being real gangsters. Like they're walking up to big dogs and the dogs are shaking like scared of them. And this one cat, I don't know if it was like edited or if the cat really walks with its head tilted to the side the whole time. But it looked like a gang leader, like walking with its head like, you gonna mess with me? You gonna mess with me?
Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow.
it was hilarious. I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
All right. Yeah, cats are interesting. Like if you sit there and watch a cat, it's like they're in their own little world. They don't care about you.
Right, right.
They're your owner. You're not their owner.
Right. If I
The
leave for
dog,
like a couple hours, Nanoka's like, "Where you been? Where you been? I was worried." But the cats are
right,
like, you could be gone a month and like, "Oh, I remember you."
right. Come nudge on you a little bit. Yeah, I remember you. What's up? You gonna feed me or what? The other person have been feeding me. What's up?
Yeah, every now and then my cat Milog, he's the bigger of the two cats. He's kind of an eater, and he's a big boy. And I'll be sitting at my desk, and all of a sudden I feel these like claws like scratching into the back of my arm, like, "Hey, hey, buddy, bowl's getting a little low. Can we get some of
Right.
that dry food over there, just till the wet food tomorrow morning?"
Yeah. PKC's always telling us about her cat. Man, their cat sounds really, really controlling. Her cat's always scratching her and drawing blood. Like I've told you, I'm at my wits' end.
Don't make me use these claws.
I don't know which cat was more mischievous. Well, it had to be. I would say it was not Garfield. I would say Heathcliff. 'Cause I saw this
Yeah.
Robo skit about both of those cats and where they were arguing about which one was cooler or which one came around first. Because Garfield would just lay around and eat pasta all day. That's all he mainly did.
And pick on the dog. Was it
Yeah,
Odie? Is that the dog's name?
yeah, that's with Odie.
He'd pick on Odie all the time. I like the
Yeah,
hat, man. That's cool.
thanks, bro. Thanks. I came on here a couple times with it on. It just getting closer, so I thought, might as well represent.
Do you have a Bill
Jump,
Thompson beard too, or just the hat?
just the hat, bro. Just the hat.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bad Santa? Either one of them? One or
No,
two?
I I may have even bought it on Blu-ray and haven't watched it yet. Me and my addiction to Goodwill. Um,
Yeah,
they're like $3 Blu-rays at Goodwill, and I think I found it there. But if
yeah,
you go on a when they're having a special 50% off, man, it's like, how can you refuse? My stepson is always like, why don't you could just pick it up, watch it on Netflix or watch it on Hulu or something. I said,
yeah,
yeah, but
exactly.
sometimes they take it off of Netflix, and when it's when I know it's right there on the shelf, I just go grab it. We watch it right now. No worries.
Oh, that's cool, Jim. Uh, Jim Davis, the creator
Oh,
of
cool.
Garfield. Yeah, that's not bad. I was watching something today, Jeff, that I might end up doing. I'm not far from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I had no idea that they filmed The Outsiders there.
Oh, really?
They redid the house and made it into a museum. So they have all the memorabilia and stuff from the movie. You know, they have it set up just like in the movie.
Oh,
They
cool.
have the chain link fence. They have the fountain, the pieces of the fountain. Remember where they drowned that boy, stabbed him,
Hmm.
or not drowned him, but where they were drowning Pony Boy, and Ralph Macchio stabbed him. Have you seen the movie?
You know, I know I think I've seen parts of it. I don't think I've sat and watched it beginning to end.
Y'all
I
didn't have to
should.
read that in high school.
Um, no, no, unless it was assigned and I just didn't do it.
Yeah,
I
you
was
had to
not.
read.
I was not a great student in school.
We
I
had to
actually,
read the book in high school.
yeah. Which was better, the book or the movie?
I
Usually the
guess
book goes into more detail, right?
the book was better, but the movie was really accurate. They
Yeah.
really were able to transfer the the scenographic, portions of the book onto the movie. I mean, they got the characters pretty right on point. And this movie came out in like the 80s,
Hmm.
82, I think it came out.
Yeah. I know I'd
I mean,
watched documentaries about like The Shining. Wasn't The Shining a Stephen King book first? And
yeah,
apparently Stephen King did not like the version of The Shining that Kubrick did.
yeah.
And I got for a while there. I was binging anything Stanley Kubrick, especially anything about The Shining. I just wanted to know about that movie. I think I saw. No, no, I didn't. I think it was a
Didn't he do
different hotel.
Platoon as well?
Did he what?
Didn't Stanley do Platoon as well?
Maybe.
Or was
Let me
that Full
Google.
Metal Jacket? He did one of those.
No, see, that's Oliver Stone. Is
Okay, yeah, there
Platoon.
you go. Oliver Stone. My bad.
Um, but yeah, Kubrick was apparently known for just being a little bit of a bizarre director, and I mean he'd do things big, and he's also known for driving what's her name, the woman in The Shining, crazy, making her do like hundreds of takes just to get her in the mindset of like somebody who's like falling apart, and he caused her to fall apart so that she would appear like a woman falling apart on camera. Apparently,
Wow.
is what I've heard. So
Wow.
it's like, man, why not just let her act like she's falling apart? Why you got to make her really fall apart?
Right. Well, I'm sure Nina's gonna be here shortly, or eventually. Maybe the last
Were
five.
you a We were talking about books and reading books. I mean, did you read a lot of books when you were younger?
What do you think?
You partied.
What do you think?
Yeah, I wasn't much of a reader. I still am not that much of a reader. There've been a couple books that really hooked me, and then I just binged them and burned right through them. But not that many. I remember my worst memory is like in high school, early high school. Like it might have even been like, or maybe it was even early before that. I got a book. We do book reports, and there was a.
Where you at? I guess Jeff got a phone call or something. I don't know. Can y'all still hear me? Hey, Jeff, you there? Well, thank you, Social Glow. Thank you. I guess he did. I guess he went away. Thank you for being here, Social Glow. Um, I guess I lost my train of thought as well. He just went bloop. Maybe he'll be back. I had that issue last night or the other night with Nina. I was talking to her and all of a sudden my internet went out. Boop. And I had to reboot or whatever. It's terrible. I hate when that happens. But yeah, thank you so much, Social Glow. I try to change it up and make it different for people because I know that some people enjoy listening to the same topic all the time. And then there's some people that get really stir crazy a little bit after you've covered something for a little bit. It's always nice to go back and recover a little bit of it, but you know, only so much is so much. You can only bleed so much from a topic. All right, all right. Thank you, Jim Neal. Yeah, he was asking me if I read a lot of books when I was younger. I really didn't unless I was forced to read them. Like when I started reading The Outsiders, I think my sophomore year for English class, that was a book that I couldn't put down. I remember reading another book like my junior, I think it was Animal Farm, something like that. I don't know if you guys had curriculums where in your English class, you had to like read a book and then do a presentation on it or do an essay on it. I mean, I'm a better student at 53 than I ever was at 16, 15, 17. You know what I mean? I was all over the place. But Yeah, reading books is not a bad thing. I usually buy the book on the Kindle, and if it's interesting enough, I'll sit there and I'll binge read. One thing that I learned while I was studying for my licensure is how to speed read. So sometimes I use that technique where you take out certain adjectives and verbs and stuff like that, and you just read certain words in in a sentence, but you can still your brain puts those adjectives and verbs in there for you without you having to focus on them. What happened, my man?
Sorry about that. I need to get a new battery in my UPS backup battery system because the battery in
Yeah,
it's dead. So if we get a little power glitch or hit, boom, I lose all my power.
Texas. Why does that not? Why does that not surprise me? Cliff Notes works for me.
Hmm.
Cliff Notes were cool, but I was always scared to get caught. You know what I mean? Were you a good student, Jeff?
Not really. No. I bear. I would. Still true today. I get motivated right as I see the finish line. It's like, oh, it's due tomorrow, you know, and then man, I'm on it. I can get her done. But yeah, that book report I was telling you about. The teacher even let us pick what book we were going to read, and I procrastinated. She's like, okay, Mister. Oh, I almost said my last name. She said, "Okay, all right, Jeff. I'm sure everybody knows anyway, but
Right.
she's like, all right, you haven't picked your book. I gave you a week or so to pick it. Your book is going to be A Separate Piece by John Steinbeck." And it's like, okay, fine. So I started to read the book. Is a book report came up due. We had to get and do it in front of the class too.
Oh
So,
God.
oh my gosh, the pressure. I didn't read the book. I skimmed it. I thought I had a gist of what it was about. Thought I could fake my way through it. And I thought it was about like a kid that was going off to like the military service, like maybe Vietnam or something, and wasn't about that at all. And I embarrassed myself. I got up in front of the class, gave this book report, and I sat down. I thought I'd gotten away with it. Like a couple students later, this girl gets up to do her book report, and she says, "My book is A Separate Piece by John Steinbeck." And she looks at me and she's like, "I don't know which book you read, but here's how mine went." It's like, oh man. It's like I know the teacher must have known. It's like, okay, I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
That's an interesting story, Jeff. It really is because it takes me to my college years where I was in a speech class. It's one of the last classes I took before I got my associates, and we had to pick a topic. Like she gave us a list: why texting and driving is bad, blah blah blah. That was the one that I was going to do. Well, we drew numbers to see who was going to do the presentation. You know, it was kind of like an argumentative, informative. So you
Uh
had to
huh.
give your argument, so to speak, and inform the reasoning for your argument, right?
Uh huh.
So I drew number six, I think, and somebody drew number four. So the first three, I was like, okay, they don't got my topic. I'm cool. They picked something else. Number four, he picked my topic. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I really hadn't planned to have a big old speech done. I kind of did like you did. I just
Uh
kind of
huh.
Googled it, memorized a lot of things, and I and then they called on me, and I was like, so I walked up there, and I'm like, I really don't have anything to present. And she's like, why is that? And I said, because number four already told y'all everything. And she's like, well, I'm sure they didn't mention everything. So I was already a counselor at this point. So um, I just went into counselor mode and I started just freestyling up there. And I
Yeah.
started just bringing stuff up that. instead of just the surface level that they had talked about, I went into, kind of diagramming the examples that they had given and deep diving even deeper and deeper and deeper. Well, I ended up with an A minus on that, and I was like, "Whoa!" So,
Nice, nice.
uh,
I bet she say these skills will serve you well when you start a YouTube channel.
no, she didn't. No, she didn't.
And you've got to go on and
Honestly,
on for hours and hours talking about something.
honestly, I was never a talker, Jeff, like you and I have talked about. I have been introverted most of my life when I was younger. I really didn't care for people. So, as far as talking to them, it was never a thing.
Right,
It's like
right.
I'll talk to you if I trust you, if I can get along with you. But other than that, I'm not going to go out of my way to just spend hours and hours just talking to you. But I started being a therapist, and how you're in the front of 80, 90 people for hours. You have to kind of put everything aside and just kind of take your mind to a different place and just be feeding off the information you already know.
It's that kind of thing too with practice. You just kind of start to realize, like, you know what, I am capable. I'm just as I have a mouth. I can speak. I have some stuff to talk about. I can be just as interesting as just about anybody. I think
Yeah,
too many times we hear negative criticisms about anything we say, like all the way back to childhood, and man, it just shuts you down, and you don't feel confident to open your mouth and say anything. Then I think
right.
you get to like what I'm 50 something now, and you don't give a damn. You don't give a damn what people think. It's like this might be the stupidest thing I've ever said. I'm saying it.
Right. I might not have much
Enjoy.
time left. I might as well speak it, right?
Right, right. Tomorrow's not promised.
Well, it kind of goes along with your guitar playing. I mean, I don't, you and I have talked about you playing guitar for quite a while, but I'm pretty certain, if not taking an educated guess, I mean, you were Eddie Van Halen right off the bat, right? It took you a
Oh
while to
no.
get that comfort zone. You may have
Right.
been able to play, but playing and playing on stage are two different things, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm still kind of very nervous when I'm on stage. I feel like I watch videos of myself playing and I think, is that what my face does when I'm just playing? It's like sometimes I look bored, and then you think you overcompensate. And it's like, oh geez, now I'm smiling like an idiot. Somewhere in there is a happy medium where you look like a normal face. At least I don't
Right,
have like what do you call it, relaxed bitch face, or
right.
you know, that kind of thing.
You didn't ever think of wearing shades on stage, like
Oh man,
slime
that's a good
shades?
idea right there.
Yeah.
Well, I do have my glasses do get dark in the but I think it's only in the sunlight that they turn into like shades. I don't think like stage lights would cause them to do that. I think it's got to be
No.
the sun. But but yeah, and you just kind of try to your best to just let go and have a good time. Some musician, like the drummer I used to play with, he was very he really didn't want to screw up anything in front of, and nobody does, but he really focused on it. And I kept telling him, it's like, we have all been playing a long time. I mean, if you know what I heard somebody say in a guitar tutorial just a couple days ago. He's like, he said, embrace the mistakes. He's like, those are the things that reveal you're not a robot. Those are the human things. That's why people go to see humans play music and perform. It's like, watching a trapeze artist. It's like they got a net there because they're humans. They might fall into the net, and then you got some people
Right.
that are daredevils and they do it without a net. So
I mean, at concerts, they're usually so freaking loud. You can't tell if somebody's messed up. You can't really. I mean, unless you're a perfectionist and you're just there for that. I mean,
right.
the music sounds all right. It sounds like it's flowing pretty good. Let me take a moment to say hello to some of the new people that walked in. Sirius Black, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Are you
Nina just
serious?
walked in. Hopefully she comes up on stage. Let's see. Social Glow,
I like that tag on their mouth runs faster than brain.
Texas Ranger.
I can relate to that.
I gotta have an excuse for a warning label.
They're talking about, hating to read poems and stuff in front of the class. I hated that as well. I remember my sophomore year, rap was barely hitting pretty good. And I plagiarized the poem with LL Cool J's I Need Love. And I sat there for probably about an hour and a half listening to that, rewinding it, listening to it, writing it all down. I turned it in, and she was asking around, has anybody ever heard this? Because it was flowing away. It was a rap. It wasn't a poem. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And she finally said, I listened to rap too, which she didn't, but you know what I'm saying? She's like, I got you. I got your goat,
Yeah, I don't know if I
Nina,
ever read a poem in front of a class, but book reports, and that was the worst though. I had such fear to thought of getting in front of a class. I'm telling you though, it seems to me though, if I was a teacher, I would be thinking like, you really release a power in a student when you can get them to be comfortable with that. Because isn't that they say that's like one of the top 5 biggest fears that humans have is like public speaking and
of course. Nina, you still there?
I am here.
Do you get nervous on here, Nina? Like speaking?
No, not at all. Now you put me up here in the driver's seat, and I'll panic and shut my laptop. But now being on panel, I mean, it doesn't bother me at all.
I still get a little bit nervous. I mean, like my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on my sweater already. Mom spaghetti.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Nina, I met Jeff not long after I had created my channel. So, I used to hit him up and be like, hey, you wanna get on StreamYard and just talk about this or whatever? So we'd sit there for hours and just, pretend we had an audience.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd say, hey Jeff, it'd be cool one day if we had like 10 people in the chat, wouldn't it? It'd be cool. We had 100 people in the chat. He's like, yeah, it'll happen. And we used to just talk and talk and talk. And, that's what started with me. I mean, I used to do uploads, even though I could do lives. I didn't know I could do lives at that point, but I just used to do uploads and just sit there and talk.
I guess I've never thought about going on StreamYard just to shoot the shit.
Yeah. Jeff and I have done it. That was our, what do you call it, Jeff? It's our Friday night entertainment.
Right. It's like being in a band playing to a, you got the bartender, the waiter, and then one dude in the back, and he's like, hey, you hear one clap. Yay, good job, good. Do you know Freebird? Shut up, man.
Play Stairway.
Well, dang. See, I'd be afraid somebody would, the other night I was telling you, boy, I was sitting there and I was going to be the driver's seat, and man, I swear y'all, I was sweating. And I finally just shut my laptop and I said, I can't do it. I mean, I couldn't bring myself to hit. I was like, okay, don't hit live, don't hit record, don't do nothing. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, am I out there in the YouTube world looking like a complete idiot?
Yeah, you got to quit worrying about how you look out here.
I think too, I think at some point people are honest. when they see somebody, having trouble like that and hitting some speed bumps, things are going rough. I think it makes them feel like, okay, they're human too. We're all human, and somebody that's
Boy,
compassionate too is going to speak up and be encouraging.
Yeah.
There's some people that are going to be jerks and it's like, man, you're bombing. You're really sucking tonight. But
You suck. You suck.
most people will say to you what they would want somebody to say to them if they were in the same situation, I think.
right. And see, I had invited 12 to go up with me, so I'd sent him the link, and I was sitting there, and I was like, oh my gosh, did I miss him? Did he not come on? Is he sitting out there somewhere and I can't see him? I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is it. I'm done. I am so
You know what
done.
was cracking me up was that day that we went over to Dr. Vanna's and she had her layout still on, and Jeff was on stage and we could hear him. And I kept saying, hey, Jeff, you're behind the curtain. We can hear you, buddy. And he couldn't hear anything else. He's like, hello, hello.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Yeah, it just takes time, Nina. You'll get it. You'll get it. And before long, you'll be an old hat at it. And you'll be like, before long, we'll be like, look at those videos she's making. They're just amazing.
Hey, y'all don't do that now?
Do
Yeah, we
what?
do. We do.
Don't be talking about now. Now I make some good videos now.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
even further down the line, even further down the line.
With the live
I don't
streams.
know. Look,
Yeah.
I made my first video through StreamYard the other night. I don't know if y'all noticed, but it's an old kung fu movie. My mouth doesn't match my words.
It's all out of sync.
I mean, it was so bad. I asked Lucky. I said, "Lucky, did you watch my video?" He said, "Nina, honey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I listened to it, but I couldn't watch it." I was devastated. He said, "It's okay,
Yeah.
He said, "You got your message across," and it was the one that it was such a message that I wanted to put out, and I was like, "I can't believe I mucked that one up," because it was the one talking about the Narcan.
Yeah.
That might be your just like an internet speed issue or something. Because remember, you're recording into StreamYard that's in the cloud, and
Well, then
so
he tells me that he doesn't use StreamYard, that he uses another one, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know that there was a whole bunch of different ones, but then I should have, because y'all remember that Friday night that I was supposed to go on with CJ? Oh my God, did y'all see that fiasco? He was using some
yeah.
other stream thing that I didn't know, and so I hit it, and I'm used to StreamYard, and I'm sitting there and I can't hear anybody. They can't hear me and nothing's going on. And honey, I didn't know it, but the whole time I was on camera. And I'm sitting there fiddling with all my buttons and everything, not even looking. Finally,
At
I just
least you-
left. I said,
At least
okay,
you
see
were
y'all next
dressed,
time.
Nina.
Yeah,
least
fiddling
you
with your
addressed-
buttons.
I was. I told Jeff he would have to come in there, but he'd have to be incognito.
I mean,
That's how you
sometimes
get. That's how you get viewers. Is you title the video "Nina fiddling with her buttons."
Right. Come see me fiddle with my buttons.
Hey, I made potato cakes. I thought about you, Gage.
All right, all right.
Jeff, have you ever had potato cakes?
Potato cakes. How do you make those?
Oh
Are
my!
they like hash browns or?
See, I have
No,
to think.
you take leftover cream potatoes that have been in the refrigerator all night, and you put egg and flour in them, and you mix it up, and you fry them up in butter.
Hmm.
And
That sounds yummy.
yeah, Gage had never heard of them.
Potato cakes. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever heard of them either.
We're
Wow.
sheltered. Jeff.
I've heard of hot
Okay.
cakes.
They're like pancakes, but they're made with cream potatoes.
Oh, okay, okay.
See, I asked the same thing. I said, are they hash browns? Because you go to Waffle House, you can get hash browns with everything.
Oh yeah,
There's
That
no
is one of my
french fries.
favorite things is potatoes with butter and we go to Outback Steakhouse and I love their loaded baked potato. Oh man, And there's a lot of people I know don't eat the potato skin, but I think that's the best part, especially when it's really salty, like the way they make it. It's almost like a good salted pretzel. Probably
The more
terrible for me,
salty,
I
the
know,
sweeter the taste. Hey, can you dip this in some lard?
but lard.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I want to give my doctor something to work on my next visit. Load me up with something.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see how good my heart surgeon really is.
Yeah.
So Nina, you were talking to me a little bit. Let's kind of go with the true crime, I guess, a little bit tonight, and then we
Okay.
can kick back if it gets to if we start losing people in the chat over it.
If we start losing people, we'll start talking food.
Yeah, we'll start talking food. Truth
Okay.
exposed in the house. Truth exposed in the house.
T. Ruth.
Hey,
So,
she's the one that got the whole cooking stuff started with her
Yeah.
pot roast.
Those
Pork
Idaho
roast.
potatoes are the best, though, man. They're the biggest, right? Those Idaho potatoes.
Texas Ranger, what? Never. That's why I never peeled a potato.
Never peeled
Like
it.
when he's
Yeah.
eating a baked potato, you were saying you eat the peel and everything.
Oh
I
yeah.
do too. I do too. If the potato's good, I mean, why stop at the peel? You know.
Yeah. I can understand like an orange. Okay, I'm not going to eat the outside of an orange, but a potato, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Sirius tried to comment on my video last night, and
Yeah.
I was going to respond to her. Did you know? I don't know what's going on with it. She tried 3 times to put a comment on my video, and it's still sitting at 7 comments. So I don't know if people are commenting and YouTube's deleting them or what. But she commented like 3 times and YouTube deleted it.
Did you block her? Maybe you blocked her.
No, I guess it's because I was talking about the Coburgers. You know, you don't talk about a Coburger.
You see it, right? You see it.
Sorry, I'm a little piffed about that.
Well, I mean, we could bring that person up on the share screen, and you can. Tell them I'm not above. I'm
you
not
are
above.
You're an evil person.
I'm not about over creating a little controversy. You should know that by now. I'm almost ready for another grind my gears video. I mean,
Boy.
I got 2 in there.
So, okay, to the chat. I just got to know. So I put out a 2-minute video yesterday. 2 minutes. And it was pictures of Melissa Coburger. Okay? And at the bottom it says, do you know who really knows the Coburgers? You know, that, you know, all 3 of them majored in psychology, and the research shows that if, you know, you major in psychology, you're trying to figure out things about yourself. Well, all 3 of those fools did. Okay. So that was one question. Sorry, I didn't mean call them fools. I don't know them. So anyway, so number 2 question was, do we know the Coburger family? Mama Coburger, does her family support her? You know, Papa Coburger, does his family support him? Talking extended family. You know, what's their extended families like? Oh, okay, go ahead.
You want me to play?
This is not disrespectful at all.
Well, go ahead and explain it.
And so then I think the last question is, do the sisters really support Coburger? If he gets out, will they invite him to will they give him a room to stay in with their family and friends? How sure are they of him? You know, now y'all can't tell me that when we went through Jeffrey Dahmer and everybody, that everybody wasn't sitting there going, dang, how was he made? Is it social? Was it genetics? Is his wiring off? You know, whoever's in the defendant chair, you want to know about them. And so I start getting raked over the coals for exploiting the sisters. What the heck?
Well, I
Exploiting
watched
the
this and I didn't
sisters.
know. I didn't know that's who this was right off the bat. I had to look at it a couple times. Did you watch it, Jeff?
Sorry, I just got off the phone with the wife. No, I did catch the end. When I first saw this, I thought that was Dr. Vona.
I did too. I did
That's what
too.
he looks
I
a little
told
bit,
Nina
little bit
that
like her.
earlier. I said, "Is that Dr. Vona?" Let me go ahead and play it. That way, people get
Okay.
a gist of what you're talking about.
You got cool transitions, Nina.
Oh, thank you.
That picture right there. So this is all one person, right, Nina?
That's all Melissa Koberger.
Okay. That the oldest?
No, she's the baby.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The one that made the
But
splash.
look at that picture. Look at that picture. That one's the one that struck me. But there's nothing disrespectful about those pictures.
No.
Well, somebody said it was disrespectful.
Yeah, they were saying I was exploiting the sisters. And
Well,
all
here
it
it is,
is
lady.
see, I
Here's
don't know
the
why, but I guess when it made it a short, if you'll notice my questions down there scrolling across the bottom, my questions got covered up by whatever that, see the questions coming across?
Ah.
And I don't know why it made it like that, because I didn't make it like that. I just made it like a regular video. But I guess
Well,
when they
here's the
turned it into a
comment.
short,
Here's the comment you're referring to. It says, "Please keep the sisters out of this, including intimate photos. They have nothing to do with the homicides, and the video does nothing to explain who are they. It's pure exploitation."
yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to speak for myself, Nina. I can't speak for you, but if somebody put this on my comment, I'd be like, who do you think you are telling me anything about what I'm posting?
Well, I mean, I was just so shocked at it, because anybody that knows me knows that I would never just do something to exploit somebody, And I mean, they are legitimate questions. Who are they? Where did they come from? We know nothing about the Kobergers. Nothing. The
I mean,
Kobergers,
they could be anybody on the street, Nina. It's not like they have their names above the pictures.
right? Yeah. I mean, I didn't even put that that's who it was.
You didn't. And they're not pictures that are, in my opinion,
Every one of those came off of her X page.
it's not putting them in a negative light.
Right. I mean, every one of them came off of social media.
See, there's my comment. Are they Italian? Have those features. No likes, no comments. Get out of here, Gage.
I didn't even know that you commented,
Yeah.
because see, it's showing me only 7 comments. That's it.
Yeah, I commented. Sometimes you have to go over to the newest first or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Sirius says they can speculate about the victims, but no one can inquire about the defendant's family. I call bullshit.
I mean, and that's, I think that's the reason I got so offended was, do you know some of the nastiness that had been put out about the ones that are dead?
Yeah.
Not even counting the families. And what about the ones that have been exploited just from being accused? You know what I'm saying? I mean, their private lives, their, being doxxed, their families being doxxed and stuff like that. I put out a 2-minute video. 2 minutes. And you would have thought that I had gone after Mary Magdalene or something.
Well, Jeff, how long was your little video that you put out and you got hell for it?
Oh, the bullshit video.
Hell, his
I
was
think
10
it was.
seconds.
I think it was 56 seconds that ended
Yeah.
up resulting in an hour and 20-minute live stream bashing me. It didn't seem like
how many
the
views-
equation is balanced, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you,
And how
Sirius.
many
I love
views
you.
for that channel? They got what, 7, 5, 6,000 views for that? I mean,
What's that?
That person that you made that video about.
Oh, their live got the
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I really thought that. Well, maybe I didn't think that. I know who the person is. I guess I kind of expected some sort of reaction like that. But you could react to that little kid saying, because we're all on we're on opposite sides of this case. A lot of us, got pro burgers and you got guilters, I guess, right? We're on opposite sides. Somebody says something, we call BS, right? And
Right.
how can you call BS in any kinder way than have a little kid in a car seat say, bullshit? How much gentler can you be? Shouldn't that generate a laugh like, oh, that's funny, Jeff. That's a funny video right there.
Exactly.
But it's all about what I was talking about before either one of you came up here. There's been people that have psychopathy that have killed over their reputation. They have in their mind that they must be perfect in the presentation that they present to society. If anything negative is ever brought out, that's why the fight comes so viciously. It's almost like I got to make sure that I regain a sense of relevancy to my people, so to speak. And some of these individuals, they call their chat their family and, all this stuff. And it's very cult-like almost,
But that was the first time I ever did a video where the video was specifically just kind of like calling BS on somebody. I mean, I think I've probably said some things verbally with my thoughts on some other people, but this was the first time I did a video. But I think it was just because of the severity of, here's somebody who has lost their lives, and you're gonna, spread this notion that he was urinated upon before he died on his face. And I just thought, okay, that's too far. That was even too far for a lot of other YouTubers that I thought they had no limits. It's like, but
right.
they made it. A lot of them made it very vocal, that very notion. And I just thought, man,
Well, that's
because I
like,
think if he could prove it.
When they put out the picture the other day and tried to say that was some guy carrying Dylan over his shoulders through the woods. Oh my gosh. I was so furious. I was so furious. And what I don't understand is, I'm not going to call the person out that did it, but that person talks about losing their child. How do you forget the pain of losing that child to where you could put something? Oh gosh, just never mind.
I don't think I'd seen that. It was a photograph of somebody with
Come to
carrying
find
somebody over
out,
their shoulder.
come to find out, it was a scene. They had taken a scene out of a movie.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, it was sickening. Oh, it was so sickening.
Man, the investigative skills.
I've called that person out on this panel, It's like, you've lost your son. How dare you attack other parents for grieving and doing things in non-perfect ways? You remember what it felt like? I mean, you tell us all the time on your panel how hurtful it was and how it broke you down, and you went to using chemicals and all this other stuff. I mean, come on, man. Where's the empathy? Right?
What's their name rhyme with? You don't have to say their name, but what's it rhyme with?
Tommy Jude.
Oh, that's who it was? Oh,
Yeah.
man. You know what? I should have been able to figure that out from the clues that you did say.
But here's what made me even more madder. More madder. Is Rory, the host, before the picture gets, I mean, the picture's up there, and he says, "Oh yeah, I remember that picture," and he just keeps going with it. That means
Yeah.
that you've already seen this picture. You already know what's going on. That means you're rocking right along with it. So you're just as, oh, shut up, Nina.
Mm,
I mean,
yeah.
guilty by association speaks a lot of volumes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I'm more interested in. I love to speculate on things, but I think my speculation is always like seeking after what really truly happened. And if we can't figure out what really truly happened, at least stay in the realm of reality and what's probable and possible. Not like the land of unicorns and Pegasus coming down here and you know
Yeah, the
I don't.
Hito goblins.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how other creators, artistically try to get their point across. It's not everybody's cup of tea, right?
Yeah, that's
We
for
don't
sure.
have to really like it, but that's the artistic freedom. It's sad in so many ways, but what can you do about it? It sells tickets.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I give so many props to Viviana because Buddy, when she called him out, she put the movie clip and everything and let everybody know it was a movie clip.
Yeah.
I mean, she went and found the movie clip.
damn, how long ago was that? How did I miss all that?
Oh, a week
Last
ago?
week. Last week.
Okay, I'll have to look back on that.
Yeah, it was in Rory's live. They did it in a live. It was
Yeah.
Rory's last live.
Isn't it funny that the way that there's Viviana does it very well. She does, she just fact checks people in a very polite way, respectful way. It's funny though because if you look back, I think Detective John. That's all Detective John was trying to do was do the similar thing.
Right.
But I can't help but wonder if it's because he's law enforcement and there's such hatred for law enforcement that he got the bigger backlash. I mean, if he was he was a lawyer or some legal expert, I don't think that he would have gotten the same backlash. Now, of course, he did have fun with it too and make it a show. And I don't know why people got so crazy about it because a lot of these shows say this is for entertainment purposes only before the shows, right? And it's kind of known we're just YouTubers speculating on things.
Right.
But I guess when it gets I guess there's a fine line between when you start to talk personally about an individual and a person. I mean, all I did was I used Tommy's words with the little kid saying, "Ah, bullshit."
Right.
I mean, that's all I said. That's I didn't go any further than that. If I'd have shared my full opinions on a bunch of other things and like there was a time where someone ran a video of the tunnels underground under Idaho and they were all blurry, out of focus, and he claimed that somebody sent me that video. It was all blurred, and it's like, well, why they blurred? I don't know. That's how it was. That's how they sent it to me. And but they didn't blur it quite enough, and you could see some of the words on the screen. It said University of Idaho. It said University of Idaho underground tunnels. I thought, let me search on YouTube for those very words. Boom! There were 2 instances of that same video in focus, right on the very first search. And you watch it, and then you look at it and you say, oh, it's got a little newspaper article at the end of it, about 3 or 4 pages explaining what you just saw with the tunnels. It was just a tour group of some young people, I guess. That's all it was. If you had all 4 pages of that article, you'd understand what you saw. This person presented only 2 of the pages because the other two clarified it, and then it wasn't as sensational. So it's like, I remember that was the day that I lost respect. I was like, man, I thought you had a good thing going there, and then I saw this, and it's like, okay, you're trying to create stuff,
Right.
Isn't it funny how a lot of the individuals that have disdain for law enforcement, the government, judicial process, all this stuff, they also can't stand mainstream media, but they do the same thing mainstream media does.
They can't stand mainstream media, but they will dang sure use their content.
Yeah, they clip out certain things to make it look like or sound like or sensationalize something. so that you definitely can focus on this. So it programs in your head. Oh, I remember hearing that from this video. That's exactly what that is. Like I
Yep.
said, there's a lot of tricks that people use to get their point across, but yet they're mad at mainstream media because they're so blunt and to the point.
And mainstream media is often just boots on the ground at a more, larger level, but they've got a bunch of other stories too. So I mean, it doesn't surprise me when I see like some of the major news networks that they're covering the story, and they get some things wrong that us who talk about it almost every day, like we know, it's like, oh man, clearly they don't keep up on this story every day like we do. But they're still boots on the ground, and they have more clout and can get information that we can't. It seems like you'd be welcoming. I remember when I first saw boots on the ground, and with this guy at a Jack in the Box, I thought, all right, we got people on boots on the ground down there. This is like great. We're going to start getting some real answers and stuff, and that's great, right? And then you got a Howard Bloom who's boots on the ground with New York Times experience, and oh, but we don't want that. We don't want any of that. No, it's like, what? This is Now I know he's trying to sell a book, but he's also he's got a reputation as well, and he's boots on the ground. So I want to hear what he found out.
All Ray was trying to do was, promote himself, and everybody wants to talk about how great he is.
Yeah, I mean, I never heard of Cy Ray before any of this, so it worked.
Exactly.
His name got out, at least to me.
I mean, they say mainstream media pushes this every day. That's a false statement in itself. I don't remember I get the anniversary, but the last time I really remember mainstream media or the interview with the mom the other day. Of the most recent mainstream media part that I've seen in a long time. They say that they push that narrative every day about Kohberger being guilty. I don't hear that every day. Do y'all?
I say I don't either.
No.
You don't turn on your regular TV news or CNN or any of the Fox News. You don't hear about them pushing that narrative every day. I mean,
No.
Come on.
We talk about it more than they do.
I think they just don't like to hear they call it a narrative. They call it the mainstream media's narrative. It's like, I don't think you ought to call it a narrative. I think it's like, okay, they've come to the conclusion, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And they're reporting it as a duck. And for some weird reason, you all think it's a dove. So, not sure how you got there, but...
I mean, they get paid.
And they want to call it, they think it's a dove, but they want to call it a turkey.
Yeah, they get paid to present a product. It has to be, under so many minutes. It has to be sensationalized. It must keep your attention that long so you get those viewing points and blah, blah, blah. Same thing is on YouTube.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Yeah, I think it's I always try and keep in the back of my mind and in forefront of my mind actually that there's a chance he's innocent. It's a chance. But I'm sorry, but everything that has been presented, what little there is, and there's more to the story, but the little that there is makes me lean. If I'm a betting man, I'm feeling like they've got the right guy. I don't know why that's such an awful thing. It's not. It's not like that's what I want. It's just that's what everything looks like. If I said something opposite, if I said it looks like they've got the wrong guy, then really all I would be doing is saying all that you all want me to say. I'm just saying what I have. The conclusions that I've come up to. 2 + 2 looks to be 4 to me, and you all are saying it's 4.5. I can't get with you. I'm sorry. That's just me.
It's interesting how it infuriates people, though. It's not like, like we're talking calmly right now, right? Somebody could jump into the chat right now and just drop a load of feces and burn off. but their comments are so vile or so full of hatred. And you wonder, like, what's your agenda? What is your agenda? What made you have such animosity and hatred that you just go into other people's chats and drop this filth and then burn off? Don't even give the person the time to respond. You know what I mean?
Right. And you've got a good show though, the 12 gauge, that maybe you've made a difference, because a person that comes into a room like that and then has all that vitriol right off the start, they're probably expecting you and everybody in your chat to come down on them in the same manner. But then that's not what they get if they come here. And
Right.
and I think it sure seems better now than it used to be, because it was like that. I mean, I was always amazed. I'd go in and I'd say, "Hi, how you doing?" And everybody'd yell at me and blocked. It's like, what? That's all I said was hi. How you doing?
I have
You're
some
not everybody's cup of tea, Jeff.
Definitely
Hey, I have
not.
some awesome mods in here that they don't tolerate a lot, and you know, they do a great job. They can discern with their analytical skills. They're smart enough to discern whether somebody's being playful, whether somebody's just stating a fact of their understanding, or whether they're being malicious. And they take care of it. You know, I appreciate that, where I don't have to do it, where I don't have to be the one that's monitoring everything. I don't like to be the, what do you call that, streamliner?
The streamliner on StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's cup of tea, huh? How about everybody's cup of Joe? Are you anybody's cup of Joe?
Yeah, what
Jeff?
was it? The first person who said that was what? Harsh Reality.
Yeah.
Jeff H. Jeff H. He's not everyone's cup of tea.
Look, I didn't even know who Jeff was. I was in somebody's comment section one night, and this person comes in and they're like, "Don't you be coming in on these fake names." I'm like, holy crap. I don't know who that person was, but I ain't never going to see them. And then
Isn't
I
it
found out,
crazy?
and I was like, man, that's Jeff.
Yeah.
What do you have against Jeff?
Get the F out of here, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was like, I can't believe they acted like that, because once I got to know Jeff, I was like, what the heck? That person's crazy.
I still remember that live stream that was a reaction to that bullshit kid video.
Oh,
And I remember I was sitting in a restaurant with my son and waiting for our food to come, and I looked and I was like, I saw the thumbnail and I saw people kind of waiting in the chat for the show to start. And I thought, I just couldn't resist. I typed in there. I said, I've got a better picture of me. If you want to use it, I can send it to you.
oh my
And
God.
and then, I got a little bit of hate on that and then blocked. That's like, shoot, the show hasn't even started yet, and it's a show about me. So then I went to my next account and came in as,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got
know, probably,
25 of them.
yeah, no, only 10. I limited myself to 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if everybody wants to know what they are, they're Black SUV Driver, Don't Be Cray Cray, Frankenstein's Whammy Bar, Sheer Luck Holmes, Eddie Van Halen's Guitar Pick, My Name's Stevie. That's for back in the days when Stevie Irwin was being a jerk to me. He actually created a YouTube channel made it look like I created it, and had videos on there bashing Detective John. They actually convinced Detective John that I had done them. And then he called me and I was like, I didn't know what you're talking about. He's like, you know what I'm talking about. The videos that you did. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was like, you really don't know what I'm talking about, do you? It's like, no, what are you talking about? And he said, go to this link. I said, holy crap, John. I said, I didn't make these. He's like,
Wow.
oh man, I apologize. I really, he said in the back of my mind, I was pretty feeling like this isn't Jeff, but everybody was saying, yeah, this is Jeff did these videos. And it's like, man, I think YouTube though, that was one time where YouTube, usually we don't like the copyright stuff and the strikes and the things that happen to us. But that was one time where I complained, wrote to YouTube, and I think like maybe a day, maybe 2 days, the channel was still there, but all those videos were gone. But we figured out pretty quickly who was the culprit. And actually, when he
figured it
produced,
out because of the way he did his videos, right?
yeah, because he had videos that he did that were legit. I think it was like a video of some house. I don't know if he did a video for some house remodeling company or something, but he used these wipe transitions. Just like I was complimenting you on the transitions in your video, Nina. So I saw this one wipe transition that he had between scenes, and I saw it in his legit videos, and then I saw it in these ones that were bashing Detective John. It's like, and I put them up side by side. They were exactly 25 frames long. They did a little wipe blurry thing from left to right, exactly the same. And it wasn't like a standard wipe that comes with Adobe Premiere or the edit systems. This was like a custom wipe that you probably bought from some company, but I didn't really need to do that because right at the very end, he put out a video that bashed me and took video clips from one of my YouTube videos with me playing bass and stuff and basically trying to make me look foolish. So I think it was pretty clear to everybody at that point. It's like, wait, Jeff wouldn't do a video bashing himself. So this definitely is somebody else doing this. But the good old days, man. That was
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy on there. I mean, it's like, are you so involved with YouTube that it start to blur your reality? Like, does YouTube, your reality become blurred into what's real, what's not? Especially if you just focus on one case, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna go crazy.
it was what was blow my mind was that it's like, wow, your hatred for Detective John is so high, you're gonna come after me, his friend. It's like, really? It's like, man. Yeah, that was an extreme that was extreme. I saved like screenshots of all that stuff and still have his videos and everything. Maybe someday that'd be something worth showing again, but actually, to be honest with you, I'd rather just let it. I was reluctant to even talk about it right now, but I don't know that the full history in detail has been ever explained like that. Because I've always tried to be. I've sent him many comments like, "Man, you are a talented video editor. Why are you wasting your time doing stuff like this? You don't need to be, that upset with Detective John or me, But Wait, you see what Aquarius just said?
Nina,
Yes, I'm
Nina,
here. I'm trying. I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking. I'm doing dog duty too.
is this the 156 that you were?
The one I'm talking about is I don't know the addresses. It's the dumpster one.
But is it this one that Jeff has? It says 15646.
Does it look like a pickup truck goes by? Hell, I don't know. I ain't heard all that noise.
The one with the pickup truck. Yeah, I've never done a video with that. It is from this camera, but I don't have any videos of that. I have the video clips. I just haven't put anything together.
Well, at 1:56 a.m., it looks like a white pickup truck goes towards King Road. And about two or three minutes later, it looks like the same exact vehicle. And you can tell it's a pickup truck because of how high up the taillights are. Like a car would be lower down.
Yeah, it's not. I don't have that video clip on my channel, but I know I have the video clips. I got a set of the video clips from Sigma Chai.
Yeah.
And then I also got those clips. I think are also on somebody else's channel. There was you know what? It's a YouTube channel called like r/Brian Koberger, like a Reddit address.
Oh,
Go find it, and then you can share it.
let me see if I can. Yeah, let me see if I can find it, and then I gotta go. I gotta go eat some tamales and get off of here. Unfortunately, let me see if I can get you a link to this. Yeah, I think I found it. Yeah. What was the time again, Nina? I can give you the right video.
one is say 1:55 to 2 a.m. 5 minutes.
Tamales. What type of tamales?
I don't know. She got them from a friend in the family, I think.
Man, they're up to $22 a dozen over here. That's ridiculous.
What'd you say? 155? I wonder if they don't have a. Hold on. There's a 115 labeled
It
115.
seems like
Let me see how
everybody's
long-
getting along tonight in the chat. Not like y'all never get along. I'm glad to see that tonight. I like that y'all are laughing and carry on and having a good conversation. Keep it up. Just let me know if that
Here we
Rondi
go.
lady causes any problems in there. We'll get on to her.
Yeah, we'll get
Shoot.
security. All right, let me put this in the. If I put this in the private chat, does that work? It's even. It should be even queued up to 155 when you click the link. So
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got
I'll
it.
have to I'll have to check you out on the replay, because I know if I eat tamales with my wife and I've got the phone on watching y'all, that's about it. That'd be the.
Yeah, you don't want to get a divorce before you get started.
Yeah, I'm hopefully smarter than that. I'm not always, but hopefully tonight at least I am.
So we're
right, I'll talk-
listening. All right,
talk to y'all
Jeff,
later.
thank you for hopping up, buddy.
Sure thing.
Don't
Good to
eat
see
too
you all.
many tamales, man.
That's
If
not
you
the
do,
dumpster. That's not the dumpster.
Oh, wait. You know what? I gave you the right time. I gave you the wrong camera. Hold on.
that's not the dumpster. Hey,
Wait,
Bullets, B&B's in the house.
Wait, they got one labeled 156. Could that? But you're saying it's 155. So it's got to be right before this.
Okay, it could be 156. Well, it's 1 second.
And it's a pickup truck that goes right past the
Yeah.
foreground in the shot, right?
Yeah.
Makes that turn, goes up the hill.
No. No, it only passes Linda Lane on Taylor.
Oh, okay. Okay, then this probably is it.
To me, what it
sorry.
looks like is a white Dodge Ram, which is around the time that Eric Goer is taking the girls home.
Gotcha. Yeah, that must be why they even have this clip, because it's labeled 156. It's for that purpose.
Right.
All right, this one. All right, this one will definitely go to the right camera and the right time. But then, and from there, you can look at all the other videos on that channel. So let me make sure it's the right one before I get off of here.
Hold on a second.
You're going to get in trouble.
And you can't zoom in on this, can you? See, Nina, one day you'll be like an old pro at this.
Shoot, I can't even imagine that. Yeah, see, now, what's his name's got it zoomed in. What is that guy's name now?
Yeah, I don't think with a QuickTime player you can really zoom in,
So you said
or not with the I mean with the YouTube.
155?
It goes
No,
by it like,
You might want to just play it right from the start. I think there is a vehicle that starts to come up
Is this the cat video?
there. That's probably it coming right there. Yeah, that's
Where?
you imagine that. That's what you show in court. There you go. Case closed. I rest my case. What? What
I
was
miss
it? I didn't see it. It was so small.
Yeah, can you rewind that?
And there you go. That's how we know he's being urinated upon. Didn't you see it? Didn't you just see it? It
Oh
went by
my
right by you.
gosh. He did have him over his shoulders.
Now you see it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you
It
see
was a
those
cougar
lights
with a knife.
you see those lights on all those vehicles? They're on. They're idling. They're waiting for the killers to come jump in and drive off.
Right, right. No
You see
smoke
those
or
lights?
nothing come out of the tailpipes, but they're running.
No, nothing at all. No, nothing. There was just a flash to the right of the screen here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
All right,
bug
all
right
right. I'm jumping off, guys. Have
there.
fun. I'll
All
talk to you
right.
later.
All
All right.
right.
Good night.
Good night. You see those bugs flashing by, Nina?
Yes, but I sure didn't see the truck.
It hasn't passed by yet. This
Oh,
might be it.
shit.
Right? This might be it right here. There's something up there. You see that car?
Yeah, I see it.
But we're not even at 150. Here's 155 right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 155. There goes the vehicle right there.
Okay, but it's supposed to be going the other way.
And but Olivia said that they got dropped off at 156. So it's not going to be going that direction at 156, I wouldn't think.
Well, you got to consider Taylor Road. They can make it there in 30 seconds.
But hold on a second. Let me put 145 and then watch it from there. What time did they leave the grub truck? 145?
Yeah.
So that would have put them probably about 150. Let's see. Okay, here's 150.
Do you realize how much dead air you're going to have? It's
all
like
good,
sitting in a courtroom. 5 minutes is going to seem like an hour.
right? I mean, Jeff and I did this video one night. We analyzed the hell out of it. Even has this in difference mode, so you can see the vehicle lights a lot better. See, because that I didn't see a vehicle go by there. I saw them going the other direction. Let me start way up here.
Well, I know a vehicle at 155, 156 goes towards King Road. And then
Okay,
around
here
158,
comes the vehicle.
159,
Hey, here
it
comes
comes.
the vehicle turning right there. You see the lights on the building over there?
Yeah.
They're turning on the Taylor. You see those lights?
Yeah.
Okay, that vehicle's turning on the Taylor right there. And then it's going up by the school. See the lights up at the very top of the hill?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into this because I haven't really. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I have an idea of the white truck you're talking about. I just have never really paid attention to that truck as strongly as. See, because all these vehicles seem to be going the wrong direction at the right time. Hold on, I'll start it right here. Let's see if anything goes by. Why couldn't there have been drones flying around with cameras recording that night? Okay, so 156. It's such a short freaking time frame. See, I think it had to happen before Nina, because look at the timestamp down at the bottom. Hold on. It says 156:24. I think we need to have a little earlier on the time of the camera, because it would have had to go before 156, because they were supposedly dropped off at 156. You hear me? Hello? I'm up here by myself. Why did you let me do that, guys? I'm up here talking to myself. What the hell? Where's she going? Whoa. What a moment. What a moment. Where did she go? How long have I been talking to myself, guys? Hey. How long have I been talking to myself up here? Has it been very long? She just popped off. Okay. Felt like I was up there talking to myself for a long time. Oops. Anyways, I guess Nina's off. Jeff had to go. He had to go eat some tamales. Anybody else want to come up here and hang out? Talk about any other case? I don't know. I'm kind of ready to call it. It's an hour and a half, so it's been a good time. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? If you can't, get yourself a bigger shovel. Maestro, cue that music.
Devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand, call Yeah.